my friends. This is Buddha's Meditation Manual. I am Lama Jigme Gyatso, and welcome to the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Pardon. By way of review, the meditation manual that I work with is the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, also which can be translated as the Greater Discourse upon the Four Bases of Mindfulness. Mindfulness meditation is what Buddha taught. It is completely different than entering into the ping of no thought, which is taught by our friends the Neo-Taoists, or practicing laser-like concentration, which is taught by many Hindu teachers. Buddha also did not spend time with mantras, bijas, visualizations of channels, winds, or drops, no less chakras. He kept it to a very simple system, a system that he said could work in as little as 7 years, or 7 months, or 7 weeks, or even 7 days. And that is exactly why I provide a translation of the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, a handful of Metta suttas, and the Tao Te Ching completely free as a PDF. I call this collection Buddha's Techniques and Lao Tzu's Principles, and you can download it by using the first link in the doodly-doo. Personally, I found it most helpful to first load it to my computer. Second, download the free Kindle app for a smartphone or a tablet. And then three, email the PDF to my Kindle app. I put out a revision of the PDF in question about several times a week. So this is the method that I recommend for all my students. This is not the first video in the series, so if this is your first time watching, then go back and watch the first one. When you get your hands on the PDF and you look through it, you'll see tons of links. So go all the way back to the first page, find the first link, click that, and that's how you'll find the first video. So by way of context, we're still on the first base of mindfulness, which is the body. We've already gone through the 12 exercises for centering. We've already been through the 3 exercises of body's behavior. We've been through the 3 exercises of body's overview. And for the last 2 previous videos, we've been poking around the body's components. We did the 5 exercises of the body's more superficial components. And yesterday, we did the 5 exercises of the body's structural components. Today, we're going to do the first of 2 sets of the body's organ inventory. So this is the first of 2, and it's going to be, once again, you guessed it, 5 exercises. Now, I one time spoke to a man who fancied himself a great metaphysical practitioner who felt these techniques were far too pedestrian for someone as awesome as himself. I used to feel the same way until I kind of grew weary of the lack of results doing the flashy stuff. And I began asking myself, what if Buddha was alive today, armed with one of Gene Roddenberry's universal translators, walking out of the forest? Would he recognize the practice of Buddhism today? Or as he used to call it, the Dhamma Vinaya. Would he even recognize that today? That's what made me begin to strip away the unnecessary distractions of my practice and focus primarily on the texts I mentioned a few minutes ago. Let's see, what page are we going to be working with today? Page 25. Now, I'm assuming that if you're following along, you've already done your centering exercises that you've probably already mastered. If you would like guided meditations that build on each other, the first one being 5 minutes long, the second one 10, the third 15, the fourth 20, and so forth, then use, I think it's the fourth link in the doodly-doo below, maybe the fifth link. I think that's it, the fourth or fifth link below will take you to Enlighten Fitness page. And it'll be where you find the daily guided meditation videos. The first exercise on page 25, we begin with the triple grin, the way we do at the top of the page. Grin with lips to heart, relaxing. Remember, these are rhetorical questions. It's not our job to do an anatomical study of the pleural cavity. It's not our job to visualize it perfectly. It's only our job to silently and mentally recite these words during the in-breath and during the out-breath, and to step back and let the subtle mind and the body do the heavy lifting for us. Grin with cheeks to heart, relaxing. Grin with eyes to heart, relaxing. How many of us on the internet have seen photographs of cats that were hiding under a bed or behind the drapes, and the drapes are covering their face, but not their paws that are sticking out? It is as if the cat is thinking, well, I can't see them, so clearly they can't see me. Folks, I gotta tell you, humans do the same thing. We try to hide, we try to limit our awareness all the time. We try to hamper our awareness in hopes of hiding from sufferings, from painful sensations or emotions or thoughts or memories or fantasies. It don't work well. That's why Buddha taught this method. Sadly, over the centuries, this method has become diluted and blended with other things until it's all been forgotten as anything other than an intellectual bauble. We now turn our attention to the liver region, which is the upper right quadrant of the abdomen. And it includes, of course, both lobes of the liver as well as the gallbladder. Grin to liver, relaxing. We now turn our attention to the intestines, which should not be confused with the colon. If any of you are a sci-fi or a fantasy geek and you've seen the first episode of Game of Thrones, then you remember what Dothraki intestines look like. Grin to intestines, relaxing. If getting to sleep is ever a challenge, performing that exercise, grin to intestines relaxing, can really, really ground you down. And now we're drawing our attention to our diaphragm, which divides our abdominal cavity from our pleural cavity, or our thoracic cavity. In other words, it's the trampoline separating your tummy from your lungs. Grin to diaphragm, relaxing. There are many Mahayana traditions that say you cannot do the complex contemplations until you master concentration, but Buddha never taught that. Many people spend years counting breaths. Buddha never taught that. Many people feel that they can't be bothered with such trivialities, but it's been my experience that these simple exercises can be transformative, and they prepare us for the more sophisticated meditations to come in future lessons. There is a myth that became popular in Mahayana Buddhism that if we are not enlightened, it is because we have failed to grasp the ultimate nature of reality, and our problem is an ignorance thing. But that really wasn't taught by Buddha. When you contrast the Theravada scriptures with the Mahayana scriptures, one reads like stereo instructions, the other reads like the lost manuscripts of J.R.R. Tolkien. Completely different authorship, completely different intention. The Theravada scriptures were basically about technique, whereas Mayan scriptures were more epic in nature, like reading the Mahabharata from the Hindu background. Buddha's path is remarkably simple. The Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths, in the most useful way. And don't worry, that's also included in this meditation manual. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So easy that, according to Buddha, in retreat settings, the full path can be accomplished in 7 days. So let's see, we did heart, liver, intestines, diaphragm. We're going to include today's passage set with the spleen region, which includes the stomach and the pancreas in the upper left quadrant of the abdomen. So grin to spleen, relaxing. My friends, I invite you, well, let me just back up for a second. If you've liked this video, find the thumbs up icon, please click that and share it on social media that other people might learn Buddha's simple, refreshingly effective techniques. If you don't want to miss out on any other videos, then find the red button that reads subscribe and give that a click. After you do, just to the right, there'll be a little circular icon. When you click that, I think it's called settings. When you click that, down will come a drop-down menu. When you check the first box, you'll be giving YouTube permission to send you an email notification the next time I upload a video. If you'd rather have live interaction with your teacher, no problem. If you live in Southern California, come to the next series of classes. The Friday series of classes begins the first week of February. Otherwise, you're welcome to attend that same series via live webinar simulcast if you live elsewhere. And you can register using the second link in the doodly-doo. Now, some people get very anxious about fees. There are no fees. It's by donation. Some people make big donations. Some make small donations. Some make 0 donations. The only thing I demand from my students is, number 1, they come to class 5 minutes early because no one likes a tardy bastard. And number 2, every class I teach you techniques. Play with the techniques twice daily. So in the first class, there'll be about 5 minutes worth of techniques. Play with it once every morning and once every evening for 6.5 days. If you get crap results, go find a better teacher. If you get good results, come back, get more techniques. It's just that simple. Anyone who wants to make an optional donation can by using the third link in the doodly-doo. If you do, thank you very much. The remaining 2 links are for Enlightened Fitness and Compassionate Cuisine. I think that's everything. So, may you and yours be healthy and happy. Bye-bye now.